The Gables Assisted Living is showing care, compassion, and comfort by honoring East Idaho survivors.
You don't know what you're going to do until it happens.
Larry Orchard says it seems like just yesterday when he and his wife Joyce nearly died in an explosion and fire inside their camper.
Blew these panels out.
Larry was on his way to hunt with a friend near Mount Borah. The week before, he had unhooked this heater from a gas valve inside the camper, but he forgot to turn the gas line off. Joyce suffered a stroke 8 years ago and can't walk. She was along for the ride when the couple stopped to spend the night and woke up the next morning for breakfast.
So I get up, I try to make the coffee, and I can't get the stove to light.
Larry tried and tried to light the stove, but the gas was silently shooting out of this line where the heater used to sit and filling up the camper. He grabbed a match and the burner finally lit.
I reached up to get the oatmeal and brought it down, and the fire just jumped off the stove top, and the whole room went ka-whoosh, boom, and blew me like a champagne cork right out the door. And the fire's just rolling out of the doorway. And she's in there.
Joyce was sitting on this couch with their dog Spanky.
He stayed right with her on the couch.
With burns on his hands and back, Larry bolted into the 1,500-degree trailer.
And I picked her up, just aimed her at the door, and just chucked her through the door because I couldn't walk her past that torch. And I couldn't take the time, it'd take 5 seconds to walk her out.
Larry ran to shut the gas off, then waited for the flames to die down before using a fire extinguisher to put out the hot spots. Joyce had severe burns on her face, eyes, hands, and inside her throat. With no cell phone signal and the nearest hospital over an hour away, Larry jumped in the truck and took off.
My hands were burned off. I drove with the back of this thumb and my wrist, and then I alternated with my elbows.
The Orchards arrived at the Lost Rivers Medical Clinic in Arco, and Joyce was flown to the University of Utah Burn Center with second-degree burns. What did they end up saying about your wife?
Oh, she's gonna die, yeah. And she looked like a Hiroshima victim.
After 10 agonizing days, Joyce suddenly began improving, and miraculously, she was released from the hospital 5 days later. Since that day, Larry has thought a lot about the fire and says he's fortunate he and Joyce weren't wearing nylon.
Leave the nylon off of you when you're camping. That instantly melts. In 1 second, it's melting and burning. And now you've got a burning, melting, plasticky mess all over you. About there is a ball of fire.
The Orchards admit they're lucky to be alive and know this story could have had a different ending.
I thought I waited or paused or went into shock. I'd have been not here today.
In Chubbuck, Nate Eaton, EastIdahoNews.com.
The Gables Assisted Living is showing care, compassion, and comfort by honoring East Idaho survivors.